Mega Evolution allows your Pokemon to power up once per battle. However, there are only 4 trainers in Pokemon X and Y that use this, and only 28 Pokemon that can even Mega Evolve. So I changed that. In this version of Pokemon X, every single Pokemon can Mega Evolve, even wild Pokemon. On top of that, every single trainer now uses Mega Evolution. My goal is to beat all 8 gyms and become champion while following a Hardcore Nuzlocke rule set. That means no healing items in battle, no leveling past the next gym, and if a Pokemon faints, it's gone forever. Oh, and all of the Pokemon are completely random. We start off by meeting our friends to pick our first partner Pokemon, and I went with Spheal. Naming your Pokemon is an important part of a Nuzlocke, a rule which tightens the bond between trainer and team, so I named him Kodak. We also have the ability to Mega Evolve from the very start of the game, meaning he can do this. He's doing his best, okay? You see, Pokemon can Mega Evolve into literally anything, meaning sometimes you get Phanpy and other times you get Flygon that Mega Evolves into Mega Latios. Holy shit, I need to catch this! By some miracle, we add Sony to the team, who not only has an amazing Mega, but also has the move Sonic Boom, which deals a flat 20 damage. In early game, this move is basically broken. However, that didn't stop Trainer Austin from reading me by Mega Evolving his Beartic into Dusclops and bringing my Mega Flygon down to half. I continue on to Santaloon Forest where my encounter is a Mesprit, and for its Mega Medicham. The odds of catching this is so slim, is it not? But it turns out that was incorrect. You see, Mesprit has a catch rate of 3, or in other words, a 1.6% chance of success. However, Medicham has a catch rate of 90, or a 20% chance. And what that means is everyone welcome Rico to the team. From here we face off against a Duosian, which Mega evolves into a Manchop, and compared to Megas you'll see later, this one somehow makes the most sense. Think about it. I exit the forest with my friends, watch Tierno do a stupid dance, and pick up my 4th and 5th encounters. Polaroid the Altaria Infernape, and Cannon the Poliwrath Howlucha. The team was coming together nicely, so I cleared the trainer in front of the gym and went inside to begin. The gym trainers here didn't pose much of a challenge, but I learned about an interesting mechanic from them. When a Pokemon Mega evolves into another Pokemon, not only does its typing and stats change, but so does its experience group and level up moveset. This means Mega Altaria actually gains a bunch of levels upon taking a KO, as well as gaining access to Infernape's level up moves such as Mach Punch. I was obviously feeling pretty confident, so I went straight to challenge Viola. I lead with Sony and Rico, and she sends out Ladian and Watchog. I opt for Detect and Sonic Boom to read out her Mega, and she chooses to Mega Ladian. And while Ladian was a lot bulkier now, that wasn't really going to stop me from Sonic Booming literally everything. With the first badge acquired, I was feeling hopeful that this challenge wouldn't be too difficult. We will find out later I was very wrong. On Route 4, I picked up a Mantike, and it was time for our grand entrance into Lumiose City. This was my first time back in Lumiose City on the 3DS since playing Legends ZA, and I gotta say, it's fun looking at all the differences and similarities, like how Zack was here all along. From here, I'm told to meet Professor Sycamore in his lab where he wants to battle us. He leads with Inkay and Mightyena to get an Intimidate off, and then proceeds to Mega Evolve into Mega Charizard Y. Ironically though, it was Inkay with Foul Play that was causing me more trouble here. With Rico low, I switched in Cannon to tank and finished off with Bubble Beam and Sonic Boom for the rest. As a gift for winning, he offers me to choose from one of his 3 mega rare Pokemon. Anyway, this is Sigma. Downstairs we meet a stylish, upstanding citizen, and all around I was just getting good vibes from this guy. I'm sure he's chill as fuck. Then on our way to Route 5, we meet a man named Mr. Bonding, and all that had me thinking was, I want to meet Mrs. Bonding. My Route 5 encounter was a Mankey who immediately got benched, and I had no idea that Tierno was waiting to battle me 5 steps away. And I hadn't healed my team yet. No problem though, he just has Braviary and Bellsprout. That is not good. Bellsprout turns into Mega Kangaskhan? Yeah, so obviously that's a problem now. First thing, I had to swap out Polaroid and Rico for Cannon and Sony. Sony can spam Sonic Boom, but for some reason, I got fixated on Mega Bellsprout being able to use Vine Whip, and so I Mega Evolved Cannon into Howlucha, who proceeded to go down to a Stab Wing Attack crit. With the rest of the team low, Kodak managed to come in and finish off Braviary, but you'll see this is a turning point for the playthrough. After putting Cannon in the death box, I bring in Mankey to fill out the team and make my way to Camphrier Town. Before continuing, I decide to check Sigma's Mega Evolution, and I gotta say, I'm a big fan of Mega Oddish. I meet up with Shauna, who says we should check out some of the following routes, and so I grab my Route 6 encounter, Laika the Audino. Don't ask about the Mega though. At the Parfum Palace, we chase a dog around the courtyard, and if I know anything about chasing dogs around courtyards, it's that they really aren't complete until you have a platonic viewing of fireworks between two friendly neighbors. And this is when the boys became men. Now, I'm not sure if this Snorlax encounter was just insanely lucky or if static encounters are bugged, but either way, Fuji joined our team next. I then continued up along the river where I accidentally ran into this painting couple, and they were the start of a trend where random NPCs often were more threatening than gym leaders. They lead with Yveltal and Mega Noivern. Yveltal's stab air slash hits like a truck, so I opt to put it to sleep with Sigma. Unfortunately, as we get closer to levels above 20, Sonic Boom also isn't really cutting it anymore, and I get stuck in the worst situation possible, rotating my Pokemon and chipping down my team. Not only that, but Yveltal has Roost, meaning it can heal up even when I manage to chip it down. I make the decision to sack Mankey in order to bring Rico in safely. I hoped I could use Detect to bait an attack from Yveltal to finish it off, but instead I had to pivot to KOing Mega Noivern first and hoping that they don't double down into my Mesprit. But with Sony so low now, I knew Yveltal would target it, so I had to gamble in finding a way to make Yveltal attack Rico, my only Pokemon with decent HP left. I double switch and pray that Polaroid survives. Oh my god! Holy shit. By some miracle, he lives, and now that I know that they will focus that slot, I can safely sleep powder with Sigma. I then bring in Kodak with Rico again, remembering I have Copycat, a move that lets me copy an ice move off Sveal, and I somehow barely scrape out a win. Yes! Oh my god, I'm so glad I had Copycat. That literally saved the game. I heal up my Pokemon at the PC, meet up with Serena to sweep Tierno and Trevor, and with Sigma evolved, I found out it Mega evolves into Mega Gardevoir now. In Connecting Cave, our encounter is actually a horde of Pokemon, so I decided to just spin a wheel and pick one it landed on, and yeah. I caught the Tangela and then had a bright idea to evolve my Gloom into a Vileplume, and just as a reminder, when a Pokemon evolves via Stone, it doesn't learn any new level up moves. So yeah, we're gonna love using Absorb. We make a stop in Ambrit Town to heal up and continue to Route 9 where we get access to a new mechanic called Ride On, catch a Blitzel named Hasselblad, and enter the Glittering Cave. I legit got lost in here, but there were two lights at the end of the tunnel. One was our encounter being a Manaphy, I named them VTech because apparently they made a kids camera once, and the second was this. I already got While his Mega being Krogunk wasn't great, the fact it stays shiny was amazing. Also, I caught him in a Love Ball. I named him Olympus. Later in the cave, we clear out some Team Flare Grunts who didn't have anything too crazy, got the Jaw Fossil from a scientist, and found the real god of Pokemon. Help! Back in town, I decided to start increasing friendship with Woobat to get it closer to evolving. This involved like an hour of Pokemon Ami mini-games, which apparently did very little. I'm still only 1 heart? Well, that's messed up. That's fine though, because we still had one more encounter before our gym battle in Lumiose City, and it was Cobalion. Not only that, but its Mega was Heatran, which is kind of insane. And for some reason, it took like 5 Great Balls to catch this dude. I'm not gonna question it, but Casio is definitely going on the team. Continuing to the gym, most trainers there weren't much of an issue with things like Mega Garbodor and Mega Simisage, and I gotta be honest, compared to the random route trainers, Grant's Mega Pachirisu was trash. Fuji and Rico sweep for our second badge, and this means we can take on the Team Flare Grunts in Geosenge Ruins. And they are truly harnessing the power of Mega Evolution. In Geosenge Town, it is finally time to evolve Olympus into a Swoobat, and I have never seen this shiny. It's actually S tier. Karina asks us to battle before leaving town, and I had to switch out Olympus after 1 turn. He sure is showing signs of a long and healthy life on our team. Completely unrelated, this happens 1 battle later. Oh shit. Oh god, this is very f***ing bad. For 4 boxes of wine. What? Did something use Future Sight and I didn't see it? What the hell was that? Okay, that should be a KO. That didn't KO. We might be cooked. Not Future Sight again. I think every Pokemon goes down to Future Sight from Mewtwo is the problem. Why is it always the random trainers? I literally just have to put in Olympus and pray. Like, he's the only person who will resist this move, and I just have to hope he can tank it. That is so sad. This was an important lesson on the move Future Sight, a delayed 120 base power move that is very difficult to dodge. And it will come back to haunt me. Just before all of this, I caught a Vullaby outside the cave and a Braviary inside the cave as my encounters, and check out this Mega. Yeah, after clearing the cave, we all head to the Tower of Mastery where I'm forced to battle Serena before we can challenge the next gym. The gym trainers were relatively tame, but I also had to be mindful of the level cap of 32 for Gym 3. If any of my main members leveled up past this, they would be ineligible for the gym leader fight. But again, while Karina's gym trainers had things like Mega Zebstrika, she was rocking things like Mega Archen and Durant. She did kind of get revenge later though by soft-locking my game in this fight. Luckily, I changed the fabric of time and space, and Karina eventually lets me leave. I go catch a Phantom who has a frankly absurd Mega, and now that I have Surf, I can not only give Manaphy a strong spread move, but explore more freely. In Comarine City, I face off with Serena once again in front of the gym, luckily not dying to Future Sight this time, and then prepared for the gym challenge. Kodak finally evolved with a new Mega of Drapion, and I also took a moment to teach a few more of my team members Protect, a move that will become invaluable later on. While training up on the gym trainers, my Mega Altaria also learned Close Combat, which was pretty cool. But I ended up temporarily boxing it since it was so close to the level cap. With a level cap rule of 34, I challenged the gym leader Ramos, who is also sporting a Cobalion. But you can't ignore his Mega Carnivine. This is the smallest Whale Lord I've ever seen! Baby Whale Lord! Precious, rare Whale Lord. Leaf Tornado is powerful against VTech, but Charm lets us take control of most damage being dealt to our team. I bring in Rico, who can set up Calm Mind while Polaroid uses Fly, and then I opt to Mega Rico. But in comes Sigilyph, who sets up Light Screen and has an ace move up its sleeve. Synchro Noise, a 120 power move that only hits Pokemon which share a type with the user. This is just Future Sight with somehow less and more steps. Mix that with Cobalion spamming Helping Hand, and that means I need to be super careful with my Psychic type Pokemon. So anyway, Polaroid's dead. And that's how I learned that Sigilyph is also a Flying type Pokemon. Very cool. Fuji and Casio clean up pretty easy, but it was so annoying to once again lose one of my best Pokemon to such a stupid mistake. But that's badge 4, and so I try to fill out my team by evolving Hasselblad into Zebstrika, but then I got a call from Lysandre, and everything he's saying right now is giving me super chill vibes. My Route 13 encounter was Sudowoodo, and then I beat up this Team Flare Grunt who says he lost his power plant pass 9 steps to the east, and call me cringe, but I thought this shit was genuinely funny. Inside the power plant, we were bombarded with fights from Flare Grunts. We got to see things like Mega Talonflame, which really wasn't what I pictured, but regardless, none of the fights here were absurdly difficult, with VTech and Casio doing most of the work. Although you have to see Mega Shellos. Wait, what? Hold on. It's actually Mega Shellos. With the power plant sorted, I headed for Lumiose City where Clement fires up Lumiose Tower, and here we have our next gym waiting. But before that, I decided to throw Laika the Audino on the team as a support role with moves like Secret Power, Helping Hand, and Heal Pulse. And the first gym trainer was on business with Victini and Mega Marshtomp. The remaining trainers and quiz questions were straightforward, so it was time for the 5th gym leader battle against Clement. Is it Clement? Clement? I lead with Laika and VTech, and Clement comes in with a threatening lead of Slacking and Meg Cargo. He then proceeds to Mega Evolve Slacking and completely throw the rest of the match. Between those two and an Inkay in the back, I have no idea what bro was cooking. Outside the tower, we get a call from the professor to meet him at Lysandre's cafe. Here, Sycamore says Lysandre is a chosen one, to which he responds with, true. I move on to Route 14 where I meet up with Serena and Trevor, and an easy rival battle aside, I just have to say, as a community, we never talk about Trevor from this game. I think this little nerd might be the most forgettable side character in the entire franchise. But something that isn't forgettable is my Route 14 encounter, Jolteon. Not just any Jolteon, Mega Jolteon. It brought all of my Pokemon within an inch of death and I had to run away. Not only that, but this route had some serious trainers with Pokemon like Mega Quilladin and Mega Rhyperior. Scraping by with no casualties, the gang stops at a spooky house where a random old man is waiting, really the Pokemon equivalent of a white van with free candy on the side, but we make it to Lumiose City where we can then prepare for the 6th gym. At this point, I was starting to realize a worrying trend with my encounters. Almost half of my available Pokemon are weak to electric moves, and I only have a single ground type Pokemon which currently doesn't know any ground moves. Regardless, I taught the team some new moves, snuck by the gym trainers, and challenged the 6th gym leader, Valerie. And it was Why are the gym leaders like this, man? Like, what is this? Okay, I take it back. I take it back. Shit. Oh, God. This is bad. This is really bad. Not future sight. Shit. We are actually wiping because of future sight again. I think I go Mega Skull Bash into Duosion and just pray. Oh, he's so low already though. This might be a stupid move. How much is this doing? Oh, it's barely doing anything, man. Please KO, please KO, please KO. You're joking, man. We're getting good luck on the sleep with the future sight. It crit? Are you f***ing joking? Struggling on a Duosion is crazy, by the way. This thing is... After ignoring my chat rage baiting me, I managed to use VTech to KO Duosion with Surf, finish off Mega Binnacle with Rico, and Farfetch was an easy finish. This heartbreak was honestly nothing compared to the literal war crimes that come later on. However, I did get another badge. Pentax goes to the death box, another flying type takes their place, and I teach Manaphy Dazzling Gleam for some strong coverage before we move on to the Pokeball factory. Here I team up with Serena, obtain the Master Ball, and I tell you I'm going to need this for my Route 15 encounter. This is GoPro. Luckily, we can evolve him immediately into a Gyarados with Intimidate, but my god, this is yet another Pokemon that is weak to electric moves. And while his Mega is sick, it has the same problem. Anyway, I run through the route to Dendemil Town where Sycamore tells me about Xerneas, and then go up to the Frost Cavern to catch my government-mandated electric weakness Pokemon. Most battles here weren't super noteworthy, except for one. Dragonite and Dragonite, hello? Please don't be something crazy. Please don't be actually Mega Dragonite. Foul play. Oh, God. Oh, I got bamboozled hard. That's a good thing I didn't use Future Sight on that because it wouldn't have affected it. Wow, they got my ass. Also, the admin fight at the end of the cave was kind of sketchy again because Yuxi had Future Sight, but luckily multiple freezes from Secret Power came in clutch. Also, Mabel's Swampert killed Gliscor in one shot with Muddy Water. I don't know why I thought that was a ground move. Water is literally in its name. We move on to Route 17 where we encounter a Cacturn, and honestly, I was excited about this guy until I looked at his stats. I mean, what were they cooking in Gen 3? They were cooking this guy, Salamence, one of Serena's two ridiculous leading Pokemon for the rival battle in Anastar City. But oh, it gets worse. Yeah, we're fucked. For the most part, Leica tanks hits while healing up VTech so it can focus on using Dazzling Gleam. And luckily, Mega Salamence Y kept using Scary Face. I'm not really sure why, but I was grateful. In comes Raichu, and if you made it this far, you know that I think electric types are cringe now. And so I Mega Manaphy to tank a bit, and then bring in Rico and Casio to finish it off. The last Pokemon is Cacturn, and I was worried about this guy until I looked at his stats. Like, what were they? Wait, with Serena out of the way, I moved on to challenge the 7th gym. The one trainer here I needed to battle had a Mega Ursaring and Skarmory, which were no problem, but Olympia was a problem. Not only does she have Infernape and Tornadus, but Mega Infernape is this, and does this. Yeah, we're giga fucked. I bring in GoPro for Intimidate, but I mean, brother, we are literally asking God not to smite us here. Luckily, Thunderbolt on Gyarados manages to get good damage on Tornadus, and Arceus spam in close combat means they are extremely vulnerable. With VTech tanking, I decide to set up the Rain with GoPro, then Protect to use a boosted Surf with Manaphy, KOing Tornadus and bringing Arceus within KO range. A Tri-Attack kills God, and then it's an easy 2v1 for the final KO. Also, I stopped streaming at this time and didn't save after the battle, so a couple days later had to redo the battle, but then forgot Leica was dead, so Leica is just alive again. I'm sorry for cheating, but don't worry, I kill her again later. Anyway, I get a call from Lysandre, and you're gonna need to sit down for this one. He's telling me that he's literally going to kill everyone that's not in Team Flare. I thought this dude was chill. I mean, look at him. Regardless, killing people is bad, so we head straight to Lysandre Cafe to have a word. Mega Manaphy did work in this battle, and we finished with a commanding victory. Despite kicking his ass though, he still wanted to kill the human race, so I was forced to sneak around his little underground office space filled with theater kids. Most flare grunts here were pretty chill, and while Team Flare Celosia had Mega Lumineon, Brioni had Groudon and Rotom Ice. Don't worry though, cause Groudon's Mega is Kangaskhan. That is kind of worse in somehow. Not only that, but Rotom having Levitate means they can just spam Earthquakes on my team. GoPro manages to tank a Shockwave, surviving at 25 HP to set up the rain. Leica comes in to help tank and heal Pulse, which is clutch, allowing VTech to hit a massive Surf. But with VTech low, I bring in Rico to finish the job. Luckily, Mabel of Team Flare wasn't too bad with Mega Malamar and Dusknoir, and with the elevator key acquired, we could go down to visit AZ and then face off against Xerosic. His team was trash, so he throws a fit and activates the ultimate weapon. In the secret hideout, Lysandre challenges us once again with a formidable team. Luckily, my rain team was actually pretty powerful here, until he brought in Ursaring and Swampert. Stab Thrash nearly kills GoPro, and then Sigma misses 2 Leaf Blizzards on Swampert, which is very cringe. I knew that was gonna happen. That is so cringe. And at this point, I think Sigma must be an industry plant because they are throwing so hard. I'm going to freak out. We missed 4 sleep powders in a row. Luckily, I kill the now guts boosted Ursaring with Mega Mesprit and Swampert with a Sacred Sword, but man, it turns out Lysandre really was the bad guy. I put my Tangrowth named Benchini on my team to take Sigma's place and challenge the grunts in the hideout, and Benchini's performance may surprise you. Okay, so he just comes in and dies. Very good, Tangrowth. With Mandibuzz on the team now, Serena and I work together through all of the trainers stopping us from reaching the X Pokemon in the basement. With 4 more admins defeated, at the bottom the X-shaped Pokemon began to hatch, and it was certainly one of the Pokemon of all time. We caught him quickly and then were ambushed by Lysandre, who has a fire battle background by the way. He leads with Regirock, who Megas and Magcargo. Both were pretty easy KOs for VTech, who also learns Aqua Ring, which is really helpful. Mine comes in, so I Mega Manaphy to get rid of weaknesses, fire off Tri-Attacks, and protect with Leica to use Surf on the off turns. Once again, Lysandre doesn't respond well to constructive criticism, fires off a nuclear warhead, and miraculously no one dies. With things sorted, I move on to Route 18 where I catch a Durant. Also, I have Cacturne on my team to try him out now, but this route trainer with Kyogre killed him immediately. I continue to Koraway Town where Sycamore starts spamming Future Sight against my team, nearly killing VTech, and actually killing my starter, Kodak, and my shock woke my dog up. This is his favorite sleeping spot when I stream on twitch.tv/hey_Vass, by the way. I'll be honest, Kodak wasn't the strongest member of the team, so this wasn't a deal breaker, but I really needed to start paying better attention if I wanted any hope of becoming champion. I head to Route 19 where I catch a Bayleaf, I evolved it, gave it a support moveset, and of course this went straight on the team, especially considering its Mega is so good. Without thinking too hard, I kept moving along to the bridge where Shauna challenges us. Her team was no match for Mega VTech, Pentaz, and Rico. However, this asshole thinks he's really clever and challenges me right after without healing my Pokemon. You rat! Meganium is bulky though, so I know it can survive at least 1 Sludge Bomb from wheezing. I am going to scream. I'm going to scream! What are the odds Sludge Bomb crits and defeating poisons me? What are the odds? But that's not it. This guy is such a sore loser that even in defeat he tries to sabotage my playthrough. You are cringe, Tierno! This guy is so fucked. I swear to the gods, if Trevor wants to fight me after this, I'm turning the game off. Spoiler alert, he does fight me, but at least he has the decency to heal me up beforehand. Luckily, I'm rewarded with the HM for Waterfall, which is a great move for GoPro the Gyarados. Across the tumultuous bridge is Snowbell City, home of the final gym before the Elite Four. Before challenging it, I grab a Drapion named Lindholm from Route 21 and a Whismur named Nintendo from Route 20. The first trainer here set a frightening precedent though. Actual team synergy. Their Mega Exploud can spam Boom Burst because Dialga has telepathy, and Dialga can Roar of Time because it's a god. Luckily, they only had 2 Pokemon, so I escape without casualties, but I can't say the same for the next trainers. Gym Trainer 2 has a Mega Nidoking and Wobbuffet, and despite this Pokemon appearing really dumb and ugly and stupid, it's actually very cringe as well, killing my Drapion on the first turn of his first battle using Counter, a move which deals twice the damage taken. Not only that though, this thing sits there spamming Destiny Bond, which means if I KO it after it uses the move in the same turn, my Pokemon dies alongside it. Luckily, Casio outspeeds it so that I don't— What?! Destiny Bond works between turns?! I literally never knew that. I thought Destiny Bond was the same turn thing because like you had to outspeed the opponent for it to be useful. Things somehow go down even further, but before that I killed the third and fourth gym trainer and challenged Wolfric, the gym leader. His team starts unassuming, but things quickly escalate with Basculin's special attack. Wait, what? That's it. That's his attack. He's blue now. Oh, and then he sends out Raikou. Yeah, out of all the wolves in the Pokemon community, Wolfric is by far my least favorite. I keep using secret power with Laika to hope for a freeze, bringing in Pentaz to tank, but unfortunately he goes down to Thunder. With Rico in, I pray for a Thunder Mist to get Heal Pulse off to have at least one Pokemon with full health, but he reads me and Laika goes down too. GoPro comes in and protects, allowing me a bold play. Something all of my worst enemies used against me. Future Sight. Knowing I need GoPro to live, I send in Crawdaunt to die. Just dodge this. Come on, buddy. Yes! Just to try and lower. That's good damage. That is very good damage. Come on. Please, Crawdaunt, dodge it again. Please, man. Yes! Oh my god. Cassio getting killed was a big problem, man. We lost a lot to this gym. With all 8 gym badges, I could now enter Victory Road and make my way to the final challenge of the game. But it wasn't that simple. There are many trainers in Victory Road, not to mention a battle is required to even enter the place, and so I cobbled together what few Pokemon I had left and tried my luck. And by try my luck, I mean use Thunderbolt, which my own Pokemon absorbs on accident, and then die to Hammer Arm. Oh my god. I'm closing the game. There's no way. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Instead, we can talk about my encounter here, which is HP the Shieldon and my new team. GoPro the Gyarados, Rico the Mesprit, VTech the Manaphy, Lumix the Mothim, and Leaf the Trevenant. Before heading into Victory Road, I finally got a heart scale to teach Rico extra sensory instead of confusion, and also gave Leaf a strong survival moveset in Leech Seed, Horn Leech, Phantom Force, and Protect. The trainers along Victory Road were strong, but they made for a good opportunity to hone my skills and learn about my new Pokemon, such as Mega Trevenant. Just before the Pokemon League, Serena challenges us one more time. Here I feel like my team is on a comeback, with Leaf setting up Leech Seed and VTech setting up Aqua Ring. This duo really shines in outlasting the opponent. Dazzling Gleam also did work, but it wouldn't be a battle until they pull out an electric Pokemon. Luckily, Leaf can tank for the win here. Before long, we set foot at the final challenge of this run. Because of all of the casualties leading up to here, I only have 3 Pokemon remaining in my boxes, meaning that if I don't win on this attempt, my run is dead. And so I step into the first Elite Four's domain, the Blazing Chamber. Malva leads with Kingler and Medicham, who megas into Simisage. This means I miss my Leech Seed and I'm forced to switch out from a Fire Punch. I bring in GoPro for Intimidate, but I didn't realize this thing also has Thunder Punch. Holy shit! With Rain set up, Surf can do a massive amount of damage with HP coming into tank. I finish off Mega Medicham with Dazzling Gleam and Kingler with VTech's Tri-Attack, and the final 2 Pokemon are an easy sweep with a couple Surfs. Next up is Wixstrom, and it's time to use my new ace, Mega Trevenant, a Milotic form with the ability Marvel Scale. With Simipour down, Ninetales comes in and sets up Sunny Day, which limits the amount of damage VTech can do, but Leech Seeding both sides means I chip them down over time. Lastly, if I had a nickel for every time a trainer Mega evolved the red Basculin into blue Basculin, I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's just weird it happened twice. With Wixstrom defeated, I healed up and stepped into the 3rd chamber, facing off against Drasna. They lead with Mega Raticate and Mantine, so I go for another slow play with Aqua Ring and miss my Leech Seed again due to bounce. I also switch to GoPro for an Intimidate and focus Mega Raticate due to its annoying Poison Touch ability. Thunderbolt KOs Mantine and Dazzling Gleam finishes off Mega Raticate, but they send in Sylveon and Luxray. HP comes in, and despite them being new to the team, their typing and defense is invaluable once again. VTech is low, so Rico comes in to tank, and HP takes to the offense by using Heavy Slam, managing to take his first ever KO on Sylveon. Again though, Rico is in KO range, so I have to bring in Lumix, who protects and allows HP to pull out the win. Now there is only 2 battles between me and finishing this. Sabled is the final of the Elite Four and starts with Stunfisk and Wailord. Once again, Mega Stunfisk reads my Leech Seed, and then both of these Pokemon start spamming Bounce for some reason. By switching my team around, I can predict where the moves are going to target, which means I can get them low, but then Sabled made a massive mistake. Okay, you just pulled that shit out. Weakness policy time. Kill them, Bastiodon! Kill them! That's what I'm fucking talking about. Back when I caught Mothim, he was holding the weakness policy, which I figured HP could use, and boy was it satisfying to watch. A couple dazzling gleams and thunderbolts later, I finished off the final Elite Four member. Against all odds, I walk into the Radiant Chamber where Diantha is waiting for us. She leads with Grumpig and Pinsir, so I slow play with Protect to block X-Scissor and Aqua Ring on VTech as she megas her Grumpig. Again, I swap in GoPro for an Intimidate and to tank the X-Scissor and try attack on Pinsir. Luckily with Mega Grumpig in the air, one more turn lets me take out Pinsir and in comes Breloom. And with that, it's finally time for our legendary Lumix to make his debut. Breloom starts focusing VTech, so I Quiver Dance to prepare to sweep, but Mega Grumpig has a strong Power Gem. But that doesn't stop me from going for another Quiver Dance. It's all or nothing. Air Slash one-shots Mega Grumpig and Extrasensory deletes Breloom. Ludicolo is in now with Tauros. Lumix goes for Bug Buzz, taking down Ludicolo, and with 2 Pokemon left, I can taste victory. In a flash of biblical levels of greed, I triple down with Quiver Dance, but Tauros goes for the Horn Attack and... No, I was too greedy. But that pissed me off, so I Mega Mesprit and KO Eevee with Waterfall, and I bring Tauros down to 10%, but Diantha heals it back up. Again, my team brings him down to a quarter health, but then stop full restoring! You're being cringe, Diantha! Lose with grace! And again, my team brings Tauros just out of range of a KO. Stop it, Diantha! You cringe lord! She's cheating! Mods, kill her! And finally, her last Pokemon goes down. I'm crowned the Pokemon League champion, and my friends came to celebrate. Wait, 2D images behind us. I never noticed that. That's so funny.